In today's episode of Madden 25, I'm going to be realistically rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons, but with the new addition of Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. But moving into the team off the bat, we got Michael Penix here. It was a questionable pick in the previous draft, but at the end of the season, whenever they started him over Kirk Cousins, seems like a good move. Still paying Kirk Cousins a bunch of money and then drafting a player in the top 10 seems like a questionable move. Maybe he gets better. We'll see from here. He is already, I believe, 25 years old, but he's looking good so far for the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, who still has yet to live up to the top 4 potential pick there. Chris Lindstrom here, and then we got a good offensive line in general. Still need a replacement. I believe Matt Hennessy was at the center position. I could be wrong on that. And then Caleb McGarry is actually a pretty solid guy, especially in Madden simulation. And then defensively, you said, F it here. Let's address this defensive line position. You've been holding back on it for too long. Got Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. in the same draft. There is some legal issues with James Pierce Jr., but I'm sure he'll get through it. Caden Ellis, extremely underrated and not talked enough linebacker in the NFL. Arnold Ebiketie here. I need to move him down to the outside. Jesse Bates, Jordan Fuller, AJ Terrell, and getting Kobe Bryant, I think, was a steal in the draft. So overall, I think the Falcons did have a really good defensive draft, but trading away their first-round pick for James Pierce Jr., their next year's first-round pick for James Pierce Jr., really questionable. It was a late first-round pick, too, that you used on him. So I don't really understand that move. They were really desperate to move up to get him. I understand they wanted to address the edge position, but seems a little bit crazy to me. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully, they're both ballers. And, of course, for the specialist position, James Pierce Jr. and Jalon Walker are both going to be the starters this year. I just want to try and develop them immediately. Everything else here looks pretty good. Nash, actually, let's move him into the slot and see if he does better than Ray McLeod. I just want to see if he can just develop out of the blue here, and hopefully he'll be good. But anyways, year number 1 with the Falcons. Not going to waste any of your time. Let's just move into the rebuild. 4-3 here at the midseason mark. Honestly, not bad. Our division is really weak. 8th in the league for rushing offense, 13th for defensive points per game, 26th in offensive points per game. Not looking good, though, but we are at the top of the division, and Bijan is 2nd in the league for yards. Scouting national focus, even though we did address the defensive line, I still need interior defensive line, need to bolster up my defensive tackle position. We have David Onyemata and Calais Campbell, I believe. I don't know if Calais Campbell stayed on the team or if he went to somebody else. I'm blanking right now, but either way, that position needs to be filled. Negative $870K to spend here. Probably not going to be able to re-sign anyone. Drake London, I will accept his option. How much would it cost to cut Kirk Cousins right now? And the answer is way too much. I would lose $89 million. Well, technically, I am starting in the 2023 season here. So if I move it to a second year in his deal, because this is how it's supposed to start, I mean the 2024 season, not the 2025, this would be his legitimate contract, not the other contract, because I can't just simulate it to the offseason or else it would jank up all the rosters. But Kirk Cousins, now if I cut him, I would still lose $64 million. So regardless, it really doesn't matter that much. I'm just going to have to hold on to Kirk regardless. That really sucks. Let's move into the playoffs. 10-7, we make the playoffs. Thankfully, we didn't wipe out, because then that would be awful if we gave up a huge first-round pick to the Rams. 15th in points per game for offense, so that's good. That improved. 8th for rushing defense, 8th in defensive points per game. And then, no, the rushing defense is 14th. The rushing offense is 8th, my bad. 7th passing defense. That's nice to see, but we got to play the Lions in the first round. Stats and awards, Michael Penix looking kind of mid there. 8th best offense, defensively 7th, so top 10 in both is nice. 15 interceptions to 29 touchdowns, 97 pass rating, got sacked 38 times. The 4,000 yards is nice, but again, 15th in passing touchdowns, 19th in passer rating. That's not very good in my opinion. Obviously, 97 pass rating is good in real life, but in Madden, it's a different scenario, as Michael Penix throws 15 picks to 29 touchdowns, almost a 2-to-1 ratio. That really isn't that good. Bijan Robinson, 1,300 yards, 4.8 per carry, 15 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Great year from him. Michael Penix, 2 fumbles, but 2 rushing touchdowns. Drake London, 1,000 yards, only 2 touchdowns. Nick Nash with 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Easily should be a star development there. Darnell Mooney, 850 yards, 8 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Sacks allowed, Caleb McGarry. I said he was good in simulation. He did awful. 14 sacks allowed. Our center allowed 10. He was a 65 overall, so I'm really not upset about that. It makes sense. And then Chris Lindstorm here allows 5, Jake Matthews 4, and then Matthew with 2. So just the guys that are the normal developments on our offensive line did bad, so I will need to replace them. Tackles, Caden Ellis, 102. Tackles for a loss, 13 for Jalon Walker, 12 for Rook Ororo here, 10 for David Onyemata, 6 for James Pierce Jr. In their rookie seasons, Jalon Walker, 14.5 sacks, 11.5 for James Pierce Jr. So trading away that first-round pick next year did pay off because we're also in the playoffs, so it really wasn't that big of a deal regardless. Both of them seem great. Immediately fixed the edge rusher position. Great move from the Falcons, at least in simulation. We'll see in real life. Caden Ellis, 2 interceptions, deflections, 8 for Caden Ellis, 7 for Divine Diablo, 6 for Billy Bowman. I'm not going to read the rest of those guys. And then safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Looking at the top 3 players in the league, it looks like nobody finished top 3 there. But can we beat the Detroit Lions? They're 11-6. They're 3 overalls higher than us. So it will be a miracle if we could win this year, and we do not. Getting crushed 38-13. Kind of what I expected. But honestly, defense seems really good. Top 10 defense, top 10 offense technically in yards as well. We have a bright future ahead of us. Need to do some work on the offensive line. But other than that, really good season. And the Chiefs are going for another dynasty run. 35-27, beating the Jaden Daniels Commanders in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP here. And then for the Falcons, really no defensive rookie of the year. It's going to be glitched out and give it to Braden Fisk. They're still going to consider him a rookie, but still, Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. both did amazing. In the NFC South, Cam Jordan, Adam Thielen both retire. For the team upgrades, Bijan goes to Superstar X Factor. That's nice to see. Nick Nash just had 11 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, and you're telling me this guy doesn't deserve at least star development? Yeah, you're smoking something for sure. He's easily going to get star development here, and he shouldn't be on a 2-year contract. It should be a 4-year contract because he's a rookie. I know some people are going to consider this cheating. It's not cheating. Where you can look up his contract. It's not salary, right? But still, he does have a 4-year contract. You can't adjust contracts whenever you import these rosters. Same thing with developments. But Nick Nash, 100% deserving of star development. Dude, again, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Definitely worth it. 85 overall team, Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. do not get a development upgrade, which I am highly against, but I already pushed my luck there with Nick Nash. I don't want to push it any further. They both had great seasons, but I'm not going to upgrade them because I don't want to seem like I'm cheating. And I know some people complain about it. Most people don't because most people have brains and can put 2 and 2 together, but some people can't. But anyways, really good team, really good start to the year number 1 in the rebuild, already making the playoffs. Let's move into the re-signings. And for the re-signings, we have $7.6 million to spend. Can I even get my Q's back? I can on a 1-year deal. It's not huge because he's 28, but it will be decent for another season. Drake London, I'm going to accept this 5th-year option. Both of these other guys don't really want. Only $3.2 million to spend in free agency. Obviously, that's not enough. I'm going to skip out to the draft. And in the draft, we have pick number 22 here. Obviously, the Rams have our pick, and they also have pick number 29. Good for them. The Jets have the number 1 overall pick. Justin Fields was clearly awful in simulation. They probably picked a quarterback, but I'm just going to simulate to the 2nd round. Let's pick another tight end with one of our top picks. Seems like a great idea last time, Falcons. But anyways, who do we want here? I could go linebacker. Caden Ellis is getting on the older side, but he just gave us 100 tackles. No reason to really do that. I still do need a center for sure, and the centers on the board really suck. I'm not going to switch a guard there. Maybe I'll switch a guard to tackle if they're big enough. This guy, they're both 304. Jacob Benjamin here at a TCU, pass protector, solid strength. If they have the elite strength, I can move him to the outside. Antonio Chamberlain here, solid strength. I think I'm just going to go with the defensive tackle instead. Eli Hardwick out of Florida State, 6'1", 406, elite strength. How do you have elite acceleration at 406 pounds? A play rec, a tackle. This is all I need to see. As soon as you see the elite strength, you got him ranked 30, got him at 54 here. Normal development sucks, but still, he's a big dude. He'll just fill in that gap. And then in the 3rd round here, this guy looks pretty good. Joe Esperanza here out of California, 6'3", 250, good speed, great strength, good acceleration, B tackle, A pursuit, A hit power, B play rec, B block shedding. Nobody else on the board looked good in terms of skills, but he does. Ranked number 9 in the class, got him at 86. Hidden development. He looks like a baller. He's going to start at outside linebacker for us. In the 4th round, let me look at the centers again. I really just want to reach on one at this point. There's some post UDFAs that I could look at later down the board. I'm not really excited about any of those guys, so I'm actually going to go to defensive tackle instead again and maybe just pull the trigger on a guy. This guy is a finesse moves, speed rusher archetype out of Clemson, 6'2", 270. Really, really light for the position, but a finesse moves, F on everything else. I'm going to take him just for the athleticism. We're just going to take a chance on him. Looks really, really bad. Not a good pick. And then in the 5th round, I do want to look at that center. Again, there's some post-UDFAs. This guy here, B awareness, Robert Bayer out of Oregon State. Here, 6'4", 290, solid strength, solid speed here. B awareness, B pass block power. Has an F there, but he has A stamina. Post UDFA, we're going to take a chance on him. That's what the 5th round picks are for. Doesn't look good at all. I mean, I'll just simulate it at the rest of the end of this draft. We didn't have a 1st round pick, but not bad with our first 2 picks. So for not having a 1st round pick, really not that bad. We got 74 Eli Hardwick, normal development, but 75 Joe with hidden development. The rest of the draft wasn't so hot. So since Caleb McGarry sucked last year and allowed 14 sacks, I'm going to sign Rob Havenstein. Ooh, do I? I mean, he's going to cost the rest of my cap. I mean, don't really have much choice. So I'm going to sign him, and then can I sign a different center? Would that be cool? Bradley Bozeman, can I sign him, or would I be in negative cap? No, I can sign him with the little bit of cap room I have left. So he's going to join the team. These guys are just going to be temporary players. But this is the team going into year number 2. They have Rob Havenstein playing right tackle, left tackle, which sucks. Caleb McGarry, can I honestly cut him? I'm saving $14 million plus $2 million penalty. I'm saving $12 million from cutting a guy who allowed 14 sacks last season. Absolutely. I'll take that all day. Even if Rob Havenstein sucks, that's fine. He's a 1-year contract. I don't have to keep paying him. That's well worth it. That's 100% worth it. I'll take that. Offensive line is looking a little bit better here. Defensively, getting Joe is looking better. And then Hardwick, I'm going to make the starter immediately. So the defense did get better in the offseason. Offense, not so much, is what we needed to focus on more, especially on the line. But the offensive line draft wasn't good, and our draft in general wasn't good. And, of course, we didn't have the money to really pay anyone. But for now, let's see how we do in year number 2 and move into the midseason mark. 4-3 back-to-back years here, as we are 30th in offensive points per game, 15th in defensive points per game. Yikes, dude. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Nobody's top 3 in the league for any stats on our team. And for the scouting national focus, I think I want to keep it defensive tackle again. I don't think Eli Hardwick is going to be maybe the 1 for the long term, but I still need a number 2 because David Onyemata is not going to last that long. $55 million to spend after cutting a couple players. Kyle Pitts, I still want on my team. He wants a mentor at his position. I can do that. I still want him on my team. We used the top 4 pick on him. We have to get him back, and I don't think he's going to be bad long term. He's young. He has star development. I think the Falcons will re-sign him in real life as well. Let me get a mentor for him so that way his interest actually increases. CJ Uzama here with a mentor tag on him, so I will not re-sign him, but sign him to a 1-year contract just to boost the interest of Kyle Pitts. And whenever you're doing these contracts, you actually have to make them on top 3 on your depth chart. I think they might need to be a number 2, but I'm making him the number 2 because he's 60th overall, so it's really not that bad having him there. And then also, Kyle Pitts suddenly has huge interest, so 4-year deal, and we're going to bump up the money. $11 million a year seems a bit much, and he wants even more, which is wild. Tyler Algier, he just doesn't want to be here. I'm not going to force him to be here. And then Arnold, I feel like both these guys could be definitely good trade value. Someone would trade something for them. Caden Ellis is getting older. We'll see how he plays. Xavier Watts is not supposed to be here. And then Ray McLeod, I don't really need Mike Hughes again. Divine Diablo, he's just going to regress from here, so he's not really needed. Don't want David Onyemata or any of these other extras, really. A lot of these guys are just 1-year signings. I can just draft a new punter. And then Bijan, of course, I'm going to accept that option. But I think I'm going to trade away Arnold Ebiketie and Tyler Algier. They're both young guys with star development. They both just don't want to be here, so I'm not going to force them to be here. And I think we could get good value out of these guys. I'm going to try and package deal them. So nobody wants to package deal them, so I'm getting a late 3rd round pick for Tyler Algier. He's young. He has star development, so he's being shipped off to the Bengals. And then Arnold Ebiketie, he's young. Not really. I mean, 26 in real life is young, but in Madden, 2 years till he starts regression. He's probably not even going to make it to an 85 overall, so technically he is still young. I think maybe someone would want him for like a late 1st round, not a late 1st round, a late 3rd round, early 4th round. These guys pick in the high 3rd round. So I'm going to do let's just do a 3rd, and then I'll give up, to be fair. I know I can just straight up get the 3rd, but to be fair, I'm going to give up a third and a 6. Well, no, I'm going to give up a 6 and Arnold Ebiketie to get a third from the Dolphins, which I think is fair in my eyes. You don't always have to do the most unrealistic trades in Madden. Sometimes trading for a running back is ridiculously hard, even though they're not that valued that much in real life. But anyways, I'm going to simulate 1 week to get Kyle Pitts back and on another deal, but we'll see if we can beat the Saints, who are 0-7, and we lose to the 0-7 Saints. Of course we do. Of course we lose to the 0-7 Saints. Thank you, simulation. That's just my favorite thing of all time. Neutral deal. Let's just do player friendly. Dump down the bonus a little bit. $12 million a year. Thank God he resigns. He really shouldn't be getting that much, but we'll give it to him anyways. Caden Ellis, it depends how he plays, but for now, let's see if we can make the playoffs after losing to the 0-7 Saints. And I go 8-9. I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's because you traded away 2 backup players. Some idiot in the comment will always say that, but 29th in defensive points per game. I improved my defense, and we literally went from 8th best defense in points per game to 29th. EA Sports, my favorite, dude. Stats and awards, Michael Penix, really worse this year. 23rd passer rating, 13th offense, 15th defense here. 27 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, a worse ratio than last year. He has a lower pass rating. He got sacked more, less yards, just a worse season. Bijan improved, though. Less yards, almost 1,200 yards. Why are we giving him less attempts? Feed him the ball more. I'm in the same playbook, and he got 50 less attempts. 5.2 average, 14 touchdowns, 2 fumbles this season for Bijan, but still a good season. Darnell Mooney, exactly 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Drake London, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Ray McLeod, outperforming Nick Nash. I guess I forgot to put him in the slot. Sacks allowed. Jake Matthews goes from allowing 4 sacks to 13 sacks. Bradley Bozeman was a Band-Aid player. He allows 8. 7 for Matthew, 7 for Rob Havenstein, 2 for Lindstrom. Rob Havenstein was a better signing than Caleb Gary. He allows less than half the sacks that Caleb McGarry did, and we had to pay him significantly less. But I do need to replace the center, and Matthew and Jake Matthews did not do that great. Caden Ellis, 127 tackles. He's probably going to get a re-signing for that. Tackles for a loss, 20 for James Pierce Jr., 10 for Jalen Walker, 9 for Caden Ellis and David Onyemata, and then sacks, 13 for Jalen Walker, 9.5 for James Pierce Jr., interceptions, 3 for Kobe Bryant and Jordan Fuller, deflections, 8 for Billy Bowman, 6 for Jordan Fuller and Caden Ellis, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Ravens beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins another league MVP. Barkley wins another Offensive Player of the Year, and there are no awards here for the Falcons. In the NFC South, Demario Davis, Thomas Morstead, Kirk Cousins, thank God his contract is gone, and Levante David all retire. For the team upgrades, offensively, we look exactly the same. Defensively, any actual upgrades. Jordan Fuller goes to Superstar Development. James Pierce Jr. goes to Superstar Development for getting 20 tackles for a loss in a season, and Joe comes to Star Development. So overall, not bad upgrades, but kind of crazy how we get these defensive upgrades, yet we're ranked 29th in the NFL for defensive points per game. Michael Penix needs to step it up. Players ready to negotiate here. Bijan, of course, I'm going to accept that option. I have a bunch of money. Caden Ellis, I'm going to pay him kind of a bag to be here, but I low-key just want a 1-year deal for him to be here because he's 31. I don't want him long-term. I'll do $13.7 million. He's going to re-sign on that. He had 127 tackles with us. Of course, I'm going to keep him. Everyone else here, just not interested in. They can all walk. So these guys are going to leave. $98 million to spend in free agency. It's typically not good whenever you import the rosters because all the contracts are jacked. You can't really do anything about it. But anyways, let's see what we have. And I'm sure my mic sounds a little bit louder now. Hopefully that helps. But I had to adjust it a little bit. James Cook here. I don't really need Khalil Shakir. Tyler Loop here for the Ravens is here. Not the next Justin Tucker. I honestly don't like free agency so far. And after free agency, I got Cam Taylor-Britt. He's young. He has star development. He's going to fill our 3 position. And then Nick Chubb, funny enough, just on a 1-year deal just because why not have him? I have the money to do it. The free agency class wasn't really stacked, but I'll take it. And the Cardinals get the number 1 overall pick again. They're going to pick up a defensive end. The Browns are going to go with the quarterback. So Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Shador Sanders all did not work out. Why is QB one of our top position needs? I did not use that as a scouting national focus, but okay, I guess. Thankfully, we did suck this year, so we actually do get a higher draft pick. Could go with offensive tackle Max Terry here at Clemson, 6'4", 318. Ooh, he looks good. Injury. Thankfully, injury's off. A's and B's across the board. He looks really good. I kind of need defensive tackle. I need middle linebacker, but those are usually round 2 positions for me. I'm in the top 15 picks here. Definitely want to get an offensive tackle, and Max Terry does look pretty sick. 6'4", 318. He won't have to switch to the other side. Great strength. You'll love to see it. I'm going to pick him. A awareness indicates he's going to be high overall. Ranked 69. Got him at 13. Nice. Still hidden development. 90 strength. Very athletic. He will be a starter immediately. Round number 2. Now I want a center because, I mean, we've been getting sacked a lot with Michael Penix. Maybe it's just his traits, but we'll see how it is here. Matt Stevens, 3rd to 4th round guy. Doesn't really seem that impressive to reach on him whenever he's a 3rd to 4th round guy. We're in the late 2nd round, well, early 2nd round. This guy, though, he might be worth the reach. 6'1", 340 out of Texas, run stopper, elite strength. You know I love it. A tackle, A impact blocking, A play rec, B play awareness, and B block shedding. I'm going to pick him. I love the elite strength. It's just so good. Ranked 49, got him at 45. Hidden development, and this is why we pick him, because the elite strength. They're always at least a higher overall. He looks great. With 2 guys that are at least 340 pounds, one of them being 340 pounds, the other being 400 pounds, we should have an elite rushing defense. Nobody should be getting through that line. Early 3rd round here, Matt Stevens is still on the board, but the guy below him doesn't look that bad. Chris Williams out of Georgia. Decent strength, makes me immediately want to pass on him. This guy here, Spencer Pope out of Alabama, marginal strength, going to pass on him too. And then Ted Perletta out of Boston College, A awareness, A impacts blocking, decent strength. He has the skills though. That's something to look into in the later rounds. Matt Stevens out of Michigan State, 6'1", 303, decent strength, elite speed though. I know I was just complaining about the decent strength. His athleticism really good. He has the skills. He has a couple of the skills. He's a 3rd to 4th rounder. I have 2 3rd-round picks. I'm willing to take a chance on this. And Matt Stevens, hopefully he has hidden development. Ranked 89, got him at 75. Hidden development, that's what we were banking on, and it's definitely worth it. And then we have pick number 13 and pick number 14 in the 3rd round. So I'm going to be looking at middle linebacker here. Nick Long here, 2nd and 3rd rounder, sliding. 6'3", 233 out of Tennessee. Poor strength, I don't like. B zone coverage, A awareness looks nice, but this guy here, 3rd to 4th rounder, and Dane Harvey out of Florida, 6'1", 245, solid strength, just as athletic, A awareness, B block shedding, B zone coverage. I'm going to pick up Harvey here as a middle linebacker. Ranked 96, got him at 77, but he has the hidden development. So I know we have Young Ho Koo, baby, Young Wei Koo, I know that's how you pronounce it, but oh my gosh, I've never seen a kicker so good before. Out of Texas Tech, 5'11", Keith Stevenson, elite kick power, elite jumping, change direction, agility, strength, solid speed, poor acceleration. That doesn't matter. He's not going to be running anywhere. A awareness, A kick accuracy. I've never seen someone so good at kicker. I'm picking him regardless. He's going to be a guy ranked number 2. 2 in the class. I've never seen that. I've never seen a kicker be ranked number 2 in the class. Hidden development, 99 kick power. I'm benching Koo. I'm so sorry to all the Young Wei Koo fans. I don't have to pay my new kicker, and I don't even need to look at his overall. Koo is going to go to a team that needs a kicker. I mean, the Browns need it, but they don't have money, of course. Typical Browns move. The Colts need a kicker. They're in a completely separate conference. They have money. Give me your 5th round pick for Koo, and also your this year's 7th. That would be also very, very nice of you. Actually, they don't have a this year's 7th, but I'll take their next year's 7th. Why not for Koo? And then he's off. No, he's really? You demand more than just, okay, that's interesting. Give me your 6th and your 7th for Koo. That's interesting that they would want so little for the GOAT Young Wei Koo, but I'm sorry. The new kicker looks way too good to pass on. After the draft, Max Terry's a 72 hidden development. Stevenson's a 73 hidden development. Matt Stevens, 71 hidden development. Dane Harvey, 71 hidden development. Randy Nichols, the right guard. Did I pass on this guy or did I pick him? I think the AI picked this guy. He's a hidden development. I guess I accidentally simulated that pick and I didn't even realize it. I remember picking up Daryl Cartwright, 71 normal development punter. Donnie Greco here, 70 overall normal development. And then 80 overall kicker Keith Stevenson. He's already better than Koo. Koo, I had to pay $5 million a year to, and he was a 79 overall. Oh my gosh, I've never seen someone so good and someone also so pale. Look at that guy's skin. That was insane. Wow, number 2 player in the entire draft. I will never see that again for a kicker. 80 overall, 84 overall wide receiver, and Dante Aldridge. This class was stacked. This dude out of LSU looks so sick. But yeah, we got a crazy kicker. Crazy steal there. Pick number 2 in the draft for that guy. Wow, what a draft. Now, this is the team after the draft. The right guard, Nichols, will he be the starter over Matthew? If Matthew has another bad season, this Nichols guy is going to start. And then Terry's going to be the starter there. Stevens as well. 2 X-Factor running backs. Nice to see. Defensively, Harvey here, I'm going to move him to right outside linebacker, or I could just start developing him immediately. But for now, let's just move him to right outside linebacker. And that looks pretty good. For the rest of the defense, let's move Hardwick up, and then let's move Stevenson up to the number 2. Rook Ororo is going to be there. Stevenson, let's actually make him the number 1 just because he has that hidden development. Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be the 2. Specialist-wise, Nick Nash is there. Stevenson's going to be the rush because of this hidden development. Don't need Bowman Jr., the strong safety, playing sub linebacker. Do not need that. And then everything else looks pretty good. Defensively, yeah, I forgot Bowman was here. He's actually an 80 overall, hidden development. He should be a free safety at 5'10", 191. I didn't know he was a star development. I guess the AI gave it to him, and I never noticed it. But hey, he's an 80 overall. He's already higher than Jordan Fuller, so we're going to make him a starter. 87 overall team now with that move. So everything looks pretty good. Let's see what we have for year number 3. Midseason mark. You better not screw this up for us, Michael Penix. 3-3. We need to step it up here. Offense sucks. I'm replacing Michael Penix after the season if he doesn't put it together, dude. Super annoying. I'm in year number 3 and he's still doing nothing, bro. Come on. Put 2 and 2 together. I give you a better offensive line. You have good receivers here. You have 2 X-Factor running backs. Like, what more do you want? $178 million to spend. Jake Bates, take all the money you want. Let's just actually do a 4-year deal. Take a bunch of money. $26 million a year. I don't care. I have the money to do it. Drake London, same thing. $26 million a year. He's going to re-sign. And then, oh, actually, no, he really rejects that. Well, how stupid is that? 2-year deal for Darnell Mooney. I don't care if he's going to be regressing. Still want him for the rest of the rebuild. And then Jordan Fuller, he will be regressing. I'll do a 1-year deal with him and boost his contract because I have the money to do it. He's going to re-sign. He's a superstar development. Matthew, it depends how you play. Nick Chubb is just a filler player. All these other extras just don't want to be here. I don't really want them either. Jake Matthews is only going to regress. Michael Penix, you better put it together this season or else I'm not going to re-sign you. I'm going to simulate another week to get that deal done with Drake London so that way his contract doesn't go up. And we are 3-4 now, coming off a 31-30 loss. The offense did their job there. Defense just collapsed, I guess. Player-friendly deal, boost the bonus, dude. $27 million a year. He re-signs with the team. $111 million left to spend. You better put it together, Michael Penix. I'm going to be pissed, dude. Stats and awards, let's look at it real quick. Michael Penix, 29th in passer rating, 12 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. You suck. Put it together, dude. We went from 10-7 to 8-9, now 7-10. I have an 89 overall team. Defense is ranked 26th in points per game. Offense is ranked 11th in points per game. What is happening, dude? Why is my passing defense suddenly worse with Cam Taylor-Britt? I also hate it how I can't look at who is allowing the most passing yards on my team because for some reason that's not a stat in Madden. So you don't actually know who's a good corner and who's not. Jalon Walker, 18th in the NFL, not 18th, 3rd in the NFL with 18 sacks on the team. Amazing year from him. Top 3 pass rusher in the league. Should get X Factor, but he probably won't, knowing Madden. Stats and awards, 26th in pass rating. Michael Penix is done. 12th best offense here, and 12th best defense. 17 receptions, 94 pass rating. I don't care if this is decent in real life. He's not putting it together. I've given him 3 starting years. He's either getting worse or he's just getting this. He's just doing the same as he's progressing as a player. And he is currently an 87 overall without the boost. I'm trading him. I'm moving on. I've given him 3 years. Usually I do a 4-year rebuild. I may have to extend it to 5, if not 6 years, just because Michael Penix has been holding us back. Bijan Robinson, why are we giving him less attempts? Year 1, he had so many more. Still running the same playbook. 1,200 yards, 5.3 per carry, 13 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Still a good year. Nick Nash, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Darnell Mooney, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Drake London, honestly been disappointing for $28 million, $27 million a year. 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 650 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sacks allowed. Matthews gone. Allowing 9 is not acceptable. The other guard's going to start. Jake Matthews, probably just not going to re-sign. Max Terry, as a 73 overall rookie that I don't have to pay, honestly not bad. Chris Lindstrom allows 6. 5 for Matthew Stevens, the rookie. The lowest overall lineman on my team allows the least amount of sacks. Caden Ellis, 116 tackles, 100 for Joe, tackles for a loss, 16 for James Pierce, 13 for Shamir Stevenson, the rookie, 9 for Jalon Walker, 8 for Eli Hardwick, sacks 18.5 for Jalon Walker, superstar development, 12.5 for James Pierce Jr. Might get X factor with those tackles for a loss, 3.5 for Eli Hardwick, interceptions 5 for Jesse Bates is nuts, and then deflections on the team, 7 for Cam Taylor-Britt, who seems like he did good, but again, it pisses me off that I can't see the yards allowed in coverage for corners. Like, that determines whether or not they're good or bad, not just interceptions or deflections. Then also, like, sure, you can look at tackles and stuff like that, but I need to know how many yards he allowed, how many receptions he allowed, stuff like that. That's important. It's literally not on this stat sheet. You can see the downs in games played, but it doesn't show it. Caden Ellis, 6 deflections along with Joe, and then safeties on the team, 1 for Shamir Stevenson, the rookie, defensive touchdowns, 1 for Jesse Bates, who balled out. And the Lions win their first ever Super Bowl over the Texans. Either way, one of these teams would have won their first ever Super Bowl. Jamin Sherwood here wins the Super Bowl MVP for the Lions. That's obviously an auto-generated player or a rookie I don't know about. Josh Allen wins another league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. No awards here for the Falcons, unfortunately. In the NFC South, Mike Evans retires. For the team upgrades, Michael Penix is an 87 overall without the boost, and he's still not performing well. Stevens and Terry both come with star development. Nichols comes with star development. I'm going to officially move him to left guard. He will be a starter over Matthew. And for the rest of the offense, we look exactly the same. Let me refresh this roster. Harvey comes with star development. Stevenson gets superstar development. James Pierce Jr. goes to superstar X Factor, but Jalon Walker gives 18.5 sacks, and he doesn't get superstar development. Smoking something there. I was assuming James Pierce Jr. would get X Factor because he had 16 tackles for a loss and then, 12.5 sacks. He did really good, but 18.5 sacks for Jalon Walker and not even superstar development is laughable. So he's going to get that star development. Everything else looks good here. I'm going to trade Michael Penix. Let's move into the re-signing. For the re-signings, God, no, I'm not accepting that option. Matthew Bergen here. I'm not going to re-sign Nick Chubb, and then all these other extras. Actually, Clark Phillips, 25 years old, even though he has normal development, cheap contract, nice depth, I'll re-sign him long term. And then Caden Ellis is just going to keep regressing. I'm going to move on from him. Don't really need that. So don't really need Jake Matthews. Worst comes to worst, I'll just re-sign him in free agency if I have to, but I'm going to let him walk. He's just regressing. Let's move into free agency. Kyle Hamilton is in free agency. I got the bag, and he wants to play here. I could easily make him my free safety. Depth at safety does matter, and he's going to play free safety, or I could move Jesse Bates back to free safety, so I like that. So I basically just went out and stole the Ravens roster, got Kyle Hamilton, Ronnie Stanley, and Trent Simpson. Ronnie Stanley's on a one-year deal. The other two guys are on extensive deals. So yeah, we are the Baltimore Falcons now, or the Atlanta Ravens, if you want to call it that. And I meant to edit Kyle Hamilton here. I want to change him to the free safety. Actually, no, I want to change Jesse Bates to free safety. And then, of course, I'm going to trade up probably near the number 1 spot. We'll see what we have in the draft. So this is the team, obviously minus Michael Penix here, and we're going to have this guy starting for now, I guess, until we draft someone new. 90 overall team, great defense here. Defensive line, nice depth there. It's not any standout players except for Stevenson, but he's only 1 year in. Like the depth here we have at the linebackers, even though they're not the highest overall. My corners and my secondary seems good, but again, I need to trade up in the draft. Let's see what we have on the board. And the Patriots get the number 1 overall pick. I'm assuming Drake May did well in simulation. Don't think they're going to take a QB. The QB class does not look good. Oh my God, it looks so bad. Oh no, dude. Oh no. Am I going to have to force Thad Roberts in the first round? Elite strength, elite throw power. I mean, his accuracies are solid. Not worth the first round pick, but I'm going to have to force it. Michael Penix, we're getting nowhere with Michael Penix. Let's see what the Patriots do with the number 1 pick. They're going to pick a defensive end. Will the Seahawks reach here for the QB? Do they still need a QB? They could take Thad Roberts. Let me see if they do have the position of need. Thankfully, EA did fix that. They won't just pick the top player available. They will pick positions of need, because it used to be in rosters, they would just have a QB already a franchise QB, and they would just pick another QB, which wouldn't make sense. But anyways, they got Sam Darnold. I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't really want to risk it, but at the same time, I kind of do, and I can't see who they picked because the game is glitching out. Great, I can't see who they picked. I love this game so much. But Roberts is still on the board. I'm just going to trade up with the Rams. I have nothing else to lose unless they have a QB. And the Rams do not have a QB. Not even a single backup QB on their roster. I'm gonna trade up for Thad Roberts. Even though he's not that good, I need someone. Michael Penix is getting us nowhere. I'm going to trade Michael Penix in my first round pick to move up to 3. I feel like that's a fair evaluation. They still think they could probably develop him. He's not that good, but whatever. Well, I feel like this is fair to move up 5 spots in the draft. If you want to give up my 3rd as well to compensate for some more value, I feel like this is more than fair to move up 5 spots. So we're going to trade that. He's off to the Rams. Same conference. I don't care. We'll check up on him later. And then we are going to draft the guy who shouldn't really be drafted this high, but we're going to do it anyways. Thad Roberts out of Purdue, 6'3", 231, elite throw power, elite strength. Pretty balanced, doesn't seem that bad, but we'll take him anyways here. Ranked 71, got him at 3. Hidden development, 95 throw power is what we're looking for. He is our QB of the future. Round number 2, looking at linebacker Paul Woodson here. Wow, the Paul Woodson is in the 2nd round. Poor strength. He is a 3rd to 4th rounder. Doesn't seem that great, honestly, considering Paul Woodson is a Hall of Fame name. 6'3", 231, and Lamont Jackson here. Good speed, great acceleration, B-man coverage, B-zone coverage, sure. I really need nothing other than a quarterback. This guy, Lamont Jackson, hidden development, even though he's not the highest on the board. I don't have a 3rd round pick. I don't really care about the 4th round. Everything else seems fine. The AI can take the rest of the draft. I'm moving into year number 4. It may take this year, the next year, and even the year after that to develop this QB, but I'm praying to God he doesn't suck as bad as Michael Penix. Thad Roberts, 72 overall, 68 for Lamont Jackson, 65 for this guy, 71 for Austin Bonds. Obviously, he didn't draft after that. A lot of 7th round picks for us there. Year number 4 with the team, Roberts is up to a 75 overall with the boost in the preseason XP. The AI really didn't draft that bad considering all these hidden developments. I mean, okay, I'll take it. Wow, they got a lot of hidden developments, just lower overalls. I'll definitely take that for sure there. Why is Stevens? Oh, yeah, he is playing left guard. For some reason, I thought it was supposed to be him playing right. Jackson, we're going to move up. And then Steven, we're going to move up. Hardwick, we're going to move up. Everything else looks pretty good here, specialist-wise. Pierce, Steven, let's move him up. Bonds, let's move him up. And then Jordan Fuller shouldn't be playing there. Neither should the backup safety, but I'll manually change that around. But anyways, year number 4. I doubt we're going to win the Super Bowl with a rookie QB, but we can only hope. 5-1, just like that, we're a winning team. 91 overall team, 3rd best offense in points per game, 17th in passing yards and rushing yards, but we're scoring points. That's what matters. 5th best offense in passing game, 9th best defense in defensive rushing game, and then 11th best defense in points per game. So just like that, we're immediately a better team. Scouting national focus, I'm just going to do defensive tackle because I don't really plan on re-signing Rook Ororo if we do play past the season. Having a really good year. Players ready to negotiate. Bijan Robinson here, of course, just give him all the money. $22 million a year. He's going to get a bag. James Pierce Jr. here. He should be on a 5-year contract, which did he finish that? He might have finished that. Yeah, he's about to be. $30 million a year, superstar X Factor, 90 overall. Billy Bowman, honestly, depth, not bad. Even though it's $8 million a year for a backup, I really don't mind. Then Kobe Bryant, been really good for us. We're just going to up that money for him since he wants a winning percentage. Nick Nash, I want back. Don't want Jordan Fuller back, but Nick Nash, let's move that up. And then, did I get the contract wrong for James Pierce? Let's just say I just paid him early. Rook Aurora, it's only $10 million, but I'd rather just save that money long term. Ronnie Stanley doesn't want to be here. We'll just deal with this at the end of the year. Everything else seems good. I guess I don't have Jalen Walker's contract. I think James Pierce and Jalen Walker both should have been on a 5-year contract for the 5th-year option, but let's just say we paid James Pierce Jr. early. So let's just move into the playoffs and see if we can make them finally. And just like that, we're a playoff team. 11-6, 92 overall. I do think we should be a better record because we're 92 overall, but 8th best offense, 14th in passing game, 10th in rushing game, 8th best defense in points per game. Our rushing defense went from top 10 to 24th. I don't know how that works, but sure. Stats and awards, Thad Roberts, year 1, slightly better, but kind of mid right now. 8th best offense, 22nd defense in yards. Yikes. Almost 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Better pass rating than Michael Penix had last year, and Michael Penix was an 87 overall. Only got sacked 26 times, and I really didn't change much about my offensive line except for my left guard from comparison to he got sacked 43 times last year, Michael Penix did. So I guess that's just a QB play. He just rolled himself into his own pressure. Let's see how Michael Penix did. Michael Penix here, a lot better, but still got sacked 40 times. So I guess it is a QB thing. So he did have a better pass rating. I know it's like like, oh, you should have waited for him to develop. He still has an interception problem. I still don't think it's that big of a deal that we traded him away. Sure, he's having some better success on a team, but he's a 90 overall. Keep that in mind. It took him to be a 90 overall to finally get better. I think Thad Roberts long-term will be better. Hopefully he can put it together this season because that'd be nice to end the rebuild in year one. That'd be legendary for him. 1 fumble, 21 touchdowns, 5.7 per carry, 1,400 yards for Bijan. What a beast, dude. Nick Nash, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. That should be superstar development. Drake London, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Pretty underwhelming in this rebuild, not going to lie. Kyle Pitts, almost 700 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bijan, almost 600 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. Outplaying Darnell Mooney is wild. Bijan with a total of 28 touchdowns on the year. Sacks here. Ronnie Stanley allows 8. My left guard allows 7, so don't have to pay him. 4 for Max Terry, 3 for Chris Lindstrom, and 3 for Matt Stevens. Pretty good job overall. Defensively, Trent Simpson, 131 tackles, 105 for Joe. Tackles for a loss, 14 for James Pierce Jr., 14 for Rook Ororo, 8 for Stevenson. Sacks, 18 for James Pierce Jr., 16.5 for Jalon Walker, 7.5 for Stevenson. Interceptions, 5 for Kyle Hamilton. Deflections, 11 for Trent Simpson, 8 for Kyle Hamilton, and then 5 for A.J. Terrell and a handful of others. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And as we can see in the playoff bracket, Michael Penix did not make the playoffs, so that's good for me. Sure, he didn't have a bad season statistically, but regardless of that fact, can we beat the 9-8 Minnesota Vikings? We're a significantly better team here in overall. This should be a win here, and it will be a win. 31-17 here to face the 10-7 Seattle Seahawks. They're in 86 overall. What will be our playoff bracket now? You got the Lions and Panthers facing off. We could play the Lions in the next game. But anyways, I'm going to hop into this. I have a 92 overall team. I know my QB isn't the best, but at the same time, I still think this should be a win for us. Here we are against the Seahawks. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to start 7-0. They're going to punt again. We're going to punt, and then we're going to make it a 14-0 game, 14-3 here, 21-3, crushing the Seahawks at halftime. Opening up half, we started with the punt. 21-13 here against the Seahawks, 28-13. Then we're going to make it 35-13. That's easily the game, crushing the Seahawks as we should. They're an 86 overall team. We're a 92 overall team, and we will be going to the conference championship in the very first year without Michael Penix, as Thad Roberts puts up 144 pass rating, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 308 yards. Baller game from him. And simply, all it took was dumping Michael Penix. I know people are going to be like, oh, you got Kyle Hamilton, Trent Simpson, Ronnie Stanley, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. We were not winning with him. Now we are winning without him. So I see a little bit of a correlation there if you guys don't. But 13-4 Detroit Lions. Is Jared Goff still their QB? I think he might have regressed by now in this simulation. Probably is. Yeah, superstar development, 32 years old, 93 overall. So never mind about that. Let's hop into this game against the Lions to see if we can beat them to prevent them from going to back-to-back Super Bowls in this simulation. They're 91, we're 92. This should be a close game. Here we are against the Lions. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to start with a punt as well. They're going to drive down the field and punt. We're going to keep punting. Offense, wake up and do something, please. Finally, 7-7 game, 7-14, 14-14 game after 2 bomb touchdowns. Opening up half, we're going to make it a 21-14 game, 21-21, 28-21, 28-28. Here, 31-35. What is happening? 38-35. They're driving down the field and they can't do it. An absolute shootout for the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Absolutely no defense was played here today, but we will be moving on to the Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, Thad Roberts is a beast. 136 pass rating, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 342 yards. Jared Goff had a good game too, other than the 1 interception, which probably killed them. But Thad Roberts is going to lead us to the Super Bowl. Obviously, Bijan had an amazing season too. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 10-7 Cleveland Browns. I don't think Shador Sanders is their QB, is he? No, it's not. Tim Lawrence, I remember them drafting him. They have Will Levis as a backup. Normal development, 81 overall. Interesting. We're so much better than them. They're 10-7, 86 overall team. All we've been facing is 86 overall teams. We should crush them, but you never know with Madden Sim. Thad Roberts, superstar X Factor. After 1 season, already the same overall. Oh my gosh. Did he come with that? How is he a 2nd or 3rd round talent and we just take him in the top 3 and this dude's just a baller? Oh my gosh. Can he be the first ever starting rookie QB to win a Super Bowl? Never happened before in history. Oh my gosh. Wow, dude. Just wow. Nick Nash, superstar development. Love to see it. Defensively here, how did Jalon Walker still not have X Factor by this point? Trent Simpson, superstar development. A.J. Terrell, I'm pretty sure already had superstar development, but what a team. Nick Nash, after 1 season already in the Super Bowl. Clearly Michael Penix was the problem. We all know this. Thad Roberts. I don't know why I keep saying Nick Nash. Thad Roberts, clearly a baller. Let's see if we can beat the 86 overall Cleveland Browns. We're in 92 overall to cap off this rebuild with our first ever Super Bowl win, and the Browns could potentially win their first ever Super Bowl here. Here we are against the Browns. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to start with nothing as well. 3-3 game, 3-7 game, 7, now 14-3 against the Browns, 14-6. Defense holding strong. Offense do a little bit more, please. Punting, and then they're going to make it a, okay, nice turnover by the defense. Offense steps up. Defense is locking in. 21-13 here, holding the ball, and that will be the Super Bowl. It feels a little bit rushed, though, but Thad Roberts becomes the first ever starting rookie QB to win a Super Bowl here with the Atlanta Falcons getting their first ever Super Bowl win with James Pierce Jr. and, of course, Jalon Walker here. Thad Roberts, 112 pass rating, 2 touchdowns to 1 reception, and then Bijan here, 6.2 per carry, 1 touchdown. What a season, and I know I keep mentioning it, but it was literally just Michael Penix all along. Thad Roberts just happened to be an X-Factor baller in year number 1. Your Super Bowl MVP is Thad Roberts, even though he did throw an interception. Josh Allen wins the league MVP. Bijan wins the Offensive Player of the Year. Great year for the team. Successful rebuild. So once again, this was a successful rebuild. I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team you want me to rebuild next down in the comments below. Jalon Walker, James Pierce with both beast here. Then Kobe Bryant was actually pretty good for us as well. Thad Roberts, I wish I did a 10-year rebuild with the Falcons, but he looks so sick. Anyways, guys, apart from that, once again, I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.